Hey, hey, hey. All right, let's get this started. We're going to see if a couple other people are going to come. If not, I'll start talking because I know time is money. All right. Make sure I can be heard. I can share screen. That is perfect. I haven't done a live in so long. It's been so long. Let me make sure my mic is on. It's been very long since I did a live. But yeah, so today we're going to talk about all things nursing, like how to become a nurse, how to um how to become a nurse, things you should do in nursing school, all of that good stuff. Tips for nursing school, you're going to learn all of that because I know getting into nursing school could be a real big struggle. And I know a lot of people, they have a hard time with it, like what schools to pick or, the GPA requirement, especially if your GPA wasn't that good, if you're starting off early. We're going to get into all of that. So it's 6:10. So I'm going to start a bit. I'm just going to pull up my screen. Hold on, that's a different thing. That is a different thing. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm going to share my screen too, so that way, oh, what just happened? Get out of CapCut. Nope, I don't want this. It's taking me in all these different apps. We're going to quit that. All right, cool, 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 cool. All right, let's see. So I'm going to share my screen. That way you'll be able to see. Let's see. We're going to share entire screen. Love it. Okay. So you're seeing me triple times. That's okay. So let me go to, where is preview at? One I just downloaded. If you're in my community, you'll have access to this 5-day jump start for nursing school as well. Let's see. All right. Okay, preview. Let's see. I got a bunch of stuff here. All right, let's see. I just had it open. Oh, you know what? Is it here? Okay, here it goes. Perfect. Give me a thumbs up just to make sure you can see my screen because I want to make sure that you can see it. All right, cool, cool, cool. All right, so welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so I'm going to give a brief introduction. Basically, go over some, my story, my nursing journey, and then we're going to get into things to start your nursing journey and how you can be the best version of yourself during nursing school and after nursing school to pass that NCLEX because that is the main priority. Once you pass the NCLEX, then the real learning starts, to be honest. You don't really learn how to be a nurse until you're actually in the field. So that's number one. So don't be, heartbroken or, in shambles because you feel like you don't know everything. You're never going to know everything. So take it day by day. Anyway, my name is Tadeja Diane. I am a psych nurse. I've been a psych nurse for about 4 years. I'm also in school for my psych mental health nurse practitioner. Um, Basically, I started off at 18. I wanted to be a nurse. I knew I wanted to be a nurse. I went to community college. I got there and I went under liberal arts with that idea of I'm going to be a nurse. Then I got nervous because I started hearing all the talk about how competitive it was. And I was just thinking to myself, okay, my high school GPA was like in the 70s, high 70s, maybe. It wasn't that high. So I was like, to be competing with other people who have like straight A's, I got nervous and I pretty much did not even try to do nursing. I pivoted and I transferred to another school. I did medical administration. I did medical administration, got my degree. After I got my degree, I needed more. I was like, okay, maybe it's time for me to get away. At this time, I'm like 19, 20. Then I transferred to a school upstate, U Albany. I don't know if you guys know of it, but I went to U Albany, party school, by the way, but it's a good school. I went there with like, I wanted to be in the health field, so I chose public health. And like a semester, 2 semesters in, I did not have a 3.0. I was probably at like a 2.6 or something. And counselor met with me and was like, you know, your grades do not meet the expectations. So you're going to have to find a plan B. I was like, are you kidding me? But, you know, whatever, I figured it out. My minor was psych at that time. So what I did was I switched my major to psychology. And I actually loved it. Like, I learned a lot, you know, with that degree and in that class. But reality, having a psychology degree is like having a liberal arts degree. Let's be honest. It's not, you know, you're not getting out making top dollars, or you're just, if you have a psychology degree, you can work pretty much at a regular office. You can even work at a store. Like, you can pretty much work anywhere at like that low entry level. It doesn't really set you up for success per se. And I didn't really know that until like later on. I started talking to people, you know, started meeting new people and socializing with them and just seeing what their journey was like and what they were into. So I did that. And then, like 2 semesters before I graduated, I was like, okay, I'm going to nursing. I had got a job at the ER working as a unit clerk. And then I cross trained to be a tech in the ER. So that's when I got to thinking, like, okay, I really want to, I can do this. Like, I can stomach these things. Like, it doesn't make me nervous or, you know, make me feel any certain type of way. So I was like, I can really do nursing. So that's when I had my mindset and was like, you know, I really wanted to go to the like the highest level almost. So I was like, I'm gonna do either a physician assistant or I'm gonna do nurse practitioner. After that, I was like, okay, what are the odds? I started doing research and what are the pros and what are the cons, basically. And the pros was that I can open up my own business as an NP, and I couldn't do that as a PA, even though I would earn more as a PA starting. So I had to choose, like, what do I like? What do I, where do I see myself? Basically, I want to have my own business. I knew that from when I was younger. So I was like, okay, so PA is out the window. I'm going for my MP. Boom, started that. Then I started taking prereqs like 2 semesters before I graduated. And I made sure I had all my prereqs, even the ones I had to redo, like the ones I had like season or even like a D, I made sure I redone. And once I retook the classes, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make sure that I have a high GPA for the science courses, because I did a lot of research and I was like, I saw a lot of people saying that, you know, your science GPA is the most important when it comes to nursing school. So once I did that, I was like, okay, cool, here we go. Then after that, I basically applied to nursing schools and I got into ADM program, which is a 2-year program. I got into it and then I got into accelerated program. That program, I had to move back home. So I got into that program, moved back home, and then I realized that I couldn't afford it. And I was just like, okay, this is not going to work. I really can't work. And then I wasn't getting no private loans. Like, it just wasn't working out for me. So I had to come up with a plan B. And I was like, oh, dang, I already like forfeited my spot for the other school and I wasn't going to move again. So I was just like, all right, plan B. Let me find a school where I can work and go to school. So I found 2 schools where I can do evening classes. So I can work my full-time job and go to evening classes. I did that. I took the entrance exam. I basically chose one school, took the entrance exam, failed by like 2 points, had to retake it. It was Kaplan too. I feel like Kaplan is a little harder than the T's. I did take the T's before when I first applied, and I took that twice too, but I did relatively better. I feel like I was in the 70s, and that's where you need to be for the T's. Kaplan, you need to be like in the 60s. So I retook it and then I passed only by like 2 points. but it was fine because I got accepted. I got that acceptance letter and you could not tell me nothing. Like, I was so excited. So, boom, there I was in nursing school. It was a struggle. I'm telling you, like, I really struggled financially in nursing school because I wasn't doing no overtime and I was living on my own. And this is probably like a year into me like living on my own, like my own full apartment, not just roommates. Because in college I moved away, but I had roommates too. But this was me living on my own. And I was really trying to balance it. So I definitely did struggle. My grades did take a hit. I was riding like a little under 80 my last semester for peds and maternity. And if you failed one class, you could retake it. But if you failed two, you're out of the program. So my anxiety was so high. And during this time, this is when COVID hit. So it was a lot going on, like mentally, physically, like it was so much going on during that time. But by the grace of God, I swear I passed both of those classes because you needed 80, at least for, my school, you needed an 80 to pass. And that's not in regards to dosage calculation. Dosage calculation, some you need 100, some you need a 90. We needed a 90. So besides that class, you did need an 80, an 80 average pretty much. So you really didn't have no time to fool around. No more 65 pass. And no, you needed a B. You needed 80 or B minus as they consider it. So, I passed that. I studied and I didn't realize until when I got out of nursing school, the exact strategy that you needed to pass these classes in your exams, but we'll go into that. Got out of nursing school, took my boards exam, the NCLEX. I took it like in February. I finished school in December, took it in February, but I didn't study as much. Like, if I look back at it, I didn't study how I should have studied. And some people, they could just, finish nursing school, boom, take it in 2 weeks and pass. That wasn't me. That wasn't my journey. So I can't speak on that, but it didn't work for me even 2 months later. So I took it in February. I failed at like question 145, basically. I did like that trick, that Pearson trick, where it lets you register, or if it doesn't let you register, that means you pass. So it let me re-register almost again. And I was like, I know I failed. So then I got my results that Sunday and I failed. I was devastated, but I had a feeling that I failed. Like, I just knew it in my gut. Boom. Then I took some time. I bought some new material. I used Archer. I was like, okay, I'm going to practice at least 50 questions a day. And then I'm going to take a determination exam, basically to see how likely I am going to be, how likely it is for me to pass the NCLEX. So basically that's what I did. Every time I got home from work, I made sure I took time off, turned my phone off, made sure I studied for at least 2 hours. And I did that up until April. So March, April. So I took it again 2 months later. So I took it again and I felt so ready at this time. Like, I was so ready. I was like, no, I even took a break during that testing. I went out, I took a break. They make you lock everything up, so it doesn't matter, but you can go out. I took a break. I took a look outside, took some deep breaths, gave myself time to recollect. Then I went back in, finished the rest of the test, and it cut off at 75. This is when it was 75. Now it's 85 minimum, but it cut off. And I was just like, I knew I passed because it's like, okay, this time I studied and I actually prepared myself and I did what I needed to do. And the fact that I took it already and I was at 145 and it cut off, and the fact that it cut off at 75, it was like either I did really bad or I did really good. And I knew it was, and I knew it wasn't, I did really bad. Like, I just knew. Did the trick again. It didn't let me register. I got my 2-day results and I passed. I was like, oh my God, thank the Lord. I am so happy. So that was pretty much my journey. After that, I applied to a psych position as a psych nurse because that's what I wanted to do to get my experience. I did some other jobs in between, like neuro ICU. I did some home health. I did some pediatrics. I did a couple things to see, make sure that was the right thing for me, but I was always mainly psych. Like, psych has been my full-time job. So And then I got my BSN online. After I got my BSN online, then I applied to the Psych NP program, got in, and now I am about to start my second to last semester. And here we are now. That was a little long, but that's basically my journey. So right now, I want you to drop where you are from in the chat and tell me whether you're pre-nursing, LPN, RN, repeat test taker, wherever you are in your journey, because I'm very curious. So let me know in the chat where you are. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen because it looks a little weird, like it's multiple pictures. So tell me where you're at in your journey, because I'm very curious. And I kind of went over time. I was trying to like keep that down, that journey to like 15 minutes, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm a little over. But tell me where you are in your journey. It looked like there's one person going in and out, but it's okay. Like, you know, I'm going to put this live stream. It's going to be on the YouTube channel, and I'm actually going to put it in my RN Glow Collective community. So it is all good. And then I just kind of did this live really last minute. I didn't have no time to really promote it and tell a lot of people about it. So it's okay if people are popping in and popping out. Totally fine. So we're going to go on to the next. I'm not going to share my screen right about now because it just makes it look a little wonky. All right. So we talked about my journey. Oh, I'm actually in good timing. So, you know, we talked about how I felt my NCLEX, you know, and in reality, it seems like I took the long way because it's like I already had a bachelor's degree and I end up I already had an associate's degree and a bachelor's degree. So then I went back for my third degree, which was associate's in nursing. Then I got a BSN in nursing. So I have like 4 different degrees and I'm going to have 5. So some people may look at it like, damn, like you wasted all that money. Like you got all these degrees and you like wasted so much money when you could have just went for the accelerated. Yes, like I said, I did try to go for the accelerated, but money-wise, that didn't work out for me. It was easier for me to do my ADN so I could start working, and I worked for a job that was paying for my education. So that worked out better for me. So everyone knows their circumstances and knows what will work out for them. So it may seem like I took the long way, but regardless, I still became a nurse. So whatever I had to do, I did. And you'll feel the same way. Like whatever you have to do, you'll do. You know your boundaries and you know what you're willing and not willing to do, right? So part 2, we're going to talk about how to get into nursing school with a low GPA. So I know it sounds crazy because it's like you don't want to be going to nursing school with a low GPA, but realistically, like associate's degree programs, they're more lenient. They require like a 2.5 GPA. You can do that. You can really do, and honestly, a 3.0 is attainable, but you could do at least a 2.5 realistically. But there are multiple options. You got your ADN, which is your associate degree nursing. You have LPN, which is practical nursing. That's 1 year. And then you can do like a bridge program, LPN to RN. And then there's another bridge program, RN to BSN. And then we have the accelerated, which is basically if you have a degree in a non-nursing area, you can apply and do your BSN basically in like 12 to 18 months. You can finish it. So it's like a shorter route, but it does cost more money. Like I think the school I applied for was like 50,000 or something. It was very expensive. Like I was just like, like how am I going to be able to afford this? Associates are more affordable, especially if you're going to a community college. Man, listen, it's way more affordable. I'm telling you. And you can do, a lot of places are doing online now. Like my NP program is doing online nursing. You usually have to go in class, but I know they have hybrid now too, especially if you're, especially like you'll do like your clinicals in person, but you'll have your lecture online. So ever since COVID, that's when they started transition to more online schools. Before you can even do your nursing online at all. But now you can, so there's multiple options. And like I said, community college often does have a lower GPA threshold. The LPN path, I would say, is good if you want to start working sooner. But again, if you have a bachelor's and a non-nursing degree, you could do the accelerated program, and it'll probably take you this. You'll have a BSN versus a LPN, which is 1 year. So you want to make sure that you're choosing the right path for you. Like I say, in my opinion, to do your RN, I think 2 years goes by super quick. Like I started January of 2019 and I finished December of 2020. That doesn't even feel like 2 years. Like it went by so quick, those 2 years, honestly. So once you get through that, you'll be good. So I would say, like, instead of taking 2 boards, because then you have to take your NCLEX for your LPN and NCLEX for the RN. Those are different tests. So whether you're an LPN or not, you still gonna have to take the NCLEX RN. So it just saves you that time and that money. But if you are in a rush to get started, or if your plan is not to, become an RN because you don't want some of those responsibilities, you don't want to have to delegate and all of that stuff. You don't want to be in leadership roles or whatever the case may be. You can choose LPN. So it's just up to you and what you want to do and what your goals is. Honestly, don't let anybody tell you different. What you want to do is what you want to do. But if you plan to be an RN, then it is easier to just go straight for it. If you have a low GPA, my advice is to retake those prerequisites and get high grades. And I'm talking about specifically, I'm not talking about nutrition, stuff like, you're okay with the B or C. You want to make sure your science GPA is the highest. Sorry, I'm talking a lot, so my mouth is getting super dry. But yeah, you want to make sure your science GPA is the highest. That's most important. That's what they're going to look at. So make sure you're getting like A's and B's in your science courses. So if you have to retake a prerequisite, make sure you retake it to get your GPA higher. And no, you cannot have any failing grades with your science prerequisites. Just make sure you have nothing less than a B. You can have like 1 C, because I think I had a C in like chemistry, because chemistry was super hard for me. Like, forget about it. I still don't even really understand chemistry. It was just like I got a tutor and everything, and that was a mess. I was like, we gonna settle for this good old C, because I was not taking that class again. And I still became a nurse, so it's okay. So you just got to realize, what God has planned for you. A GPA can't block it. Like if you're meant to be a nurse, you will be a nurse. You got to put the work in, of course, but what God has planned for you, can't nobody stop that. But you do need a strategy, and we're gonna talk about that later. Part 3. So I get questions like this on Threads too. What's the difference between LPN and RN? Because people are like, they have a hard time differentiating between the two, and also which one they want to choose. So I'm about to help you. So a quick comparison: a LPN is 12 to 18 months. Sorry. BSN, ADN, or BSN. ADN is 2 years, BSN is 4 years. And then they have the accelerated route as well, which I said could be 12 months or 18 months. So LPN must be supervised. The RN can delegate and assess. Assess is most important. So we're talking about your head to toe assessment, your mental examinations. Like they can do more of that. LPNs cannot assess. And then you have the NCLEX PN, and then you have the NCLEX RN, which is a bit harder. Then you got pay differences. You got the LPN earns about 40 to 60K average, some more, some maybe less. The RN makes about 65 to 100K plus, some more, some less. It depends, but it's around that area. Like I can say I make a little over that 100K. But that once taxes take out, then you're back under. Let's be honest, especially if you're a single person with no kids. But LPN is more task-based care, and RN is more critical thinking and leadership roles. So to help you choose, which you want. So as an LPN, you can work sooner. That's the thing. It's only a year, but then again, you got the accelerated program if you have that bachelor's already. So then it'll make sense to do an accelerated if you could afford it and you got good credit and you can take out private loans too and you're willing to do that. But you have to decide, whether you want to work sooner. Do you want more freedom and long-term growth? Not saying you can't grow as an LPN, but there's more opportunities as an RN, and that's being as realistic. You can do so much more as an RN. Not saying you can't do stuff with LPN, you can, but there is much more. It's broader when it comes to being a registered nurse, a RN. So that brings me to say there's no wrong path. Like, you're not going to choose a wrong path. If you choose LPN, you can always go for your RN. There's no, stopping that. You just have to take the boards again. That's it. No biggie, but there's no wrong path. It's only your path. And that's what I think you just need to understand and take to heart. Like, it's your path, but you ultimately decide. That's your decision. You weigh out the pros and cons, and what you can do at that time, you do. Don't stress about it. Now, tips for nursing school. So I'm going to tell you that when it comes to nursing school, or even when it comes to like prereqs, anatomy and physiology, you want to master the function of each organ. You want to make sure that you know what that organ is doing. What is the purpose of that organ? That's how you want to think of it. And also, when you're in nursing school, you want to know your why. Like, because there will be times where you're going to be like, okay, this is overwhelming. I don't know if I could do this. Maybe stressed out. You may have kids. You may have a family member that you need to take care of. It may be a whole bunch of things going on in life, because life be life. And let's be honest. And to carry you through those 12 plus hour days, because you may be like me, you may be working full time and then going to school after, you're burnt out by the end of the day. Let's be honest. So to carry you through those 12 days, just those 12-hour days and plus, because it's probably going to be longer than 12, just know your why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to become a nurse? Just think back to your why, whether it's for your kids, whether it's for your spouse, whether it's for a better life, whatever it is, know your why. Think about all the pros that will come along when you become a nurse. What does that help? How does that benefit you? And remember those whys, and that will keep you pushing through. Like for me, I knew it. I was just like, I want to make a better life for my family. Like, I was just like, I don't want to struggle. We grew up on hard times. Not so hard, but hard enough where it was just like, okay, I have to be the one to really, take it up a notch. I have to have these opportunities where I can do more for my family. So, things like that. You just have to remind yourself, because it does get tough. It's like being in a sorority. If you never, I pledged before, but that's another story. So I know what it feels like, because they make you stay in the library. You can't socialize. You can't make eye contact with some people. Like, they make you like a studious person. Like, you're always in the library till, I'm talking about 12, 1 o'clock. Like, it's a discipline. Like, they don't be playing. So it's almost like that. Like, you have to be studying. You have to put your all into it. Another one is to practice NCLEX styled questions early. From day one, start practicing them. Like, whatever material you're going over, like say you're going over like surgical procedures, or you're going over like the foundations of nursing, practice those type of NCLEX questions, because a lot of these testing books, they'll break it down by category, and practice those questions. Like, once you get the information from, class, of course, do a little reading before class. After that, go into class prepared, take down your notes, get your PowerPoints out. And then after you learn the material, this is how it sticks. You learn the material, you do your highlighting, you do your notes, make sure you understand. Boom. This is how you know you understand. You'll take those NCLEX style questions, and then you'll actually start applying that knowledge. It's really about applying. Like, you can know information, but if you don't know how to apply and take tests, have good test taking skills, it won't matter. Like you have to understand the concepts and then you have to learn how to apply. So those are important. And you'll get that by practicing more questions. The more questions you practice, the better you get, believe me. And then really, there's no need to study alone. Like, if you work better alone, okay, but working with a group and studying with a group is different because people have different understandings. You can even come to the point where you're like, you can make a song out of some study materials, like things that stick in your head. You'd be surprised what a group can do for you. It's beneficial, whether it's 1, 2, 3 people, whatever it is, it does help. But that's after you took the time to learn the material yourself. You don't go into a group and, not know the material and try to study with them. I'm telling you right now, that's not going to work. Like if you try to study with a group, you're going to be all over the place because you didn't take that time out to learn and understand the material and go to the group. So that way you guys can discuss. So that's another reason why I created the RN Collective group, because it gives you a community where you can ask questions, about your nursing journey. You can also ask like specific questions about, material you just learned in nursing school that you don't understand. It opens that up for you so you can be vulnerable and you can talk about a lot of things. And we could just, get together and really learn the material and just do things that's conducive to you becoming that RN, because that's the main goal. You want to have RN at the end of your name. Anxiety is normal. And let me tell you, when I tell you I was so anxious in nursing school, I even went to the vitamin shop and bought these like drops, passion flower. And it actually has a little bit of alcohol in it, which is weird because alcohol increases your anxiety too. So whatever. Anyway, so I used to take passion flower because nursing school made me so anxious because I was trying to do everything, learn everything, work a full-time job. And I was just so anxious, especially in clinicals, like being exhausted, being in clinical 10, 11 o'clock at night. Then you got to do finger sticks. Then you got to do care. You're doing like, when you're in nursing school, you're not actually, you may give medications and stuff. It depends on the licenses with your nursing school, but you're not doing certain things. Like you're doing basically a lot of cleaning, a lot of ADLs basically. So you're tired. So my anxiety, when I'm tired, exhausted, my anxiety was like through the roof. So just know anxiety is normal. You being anxious is normal. You just have to take the time to pace yourself. Read your Bible, pray, affirmations, go to the gym, make time for yourself. You could squeeze a little time in for yourself, whether it's a day or it's once a week, something. I didn't do that enough in nursing school, but I did go to the gym here and there because that's what, kept me in a good headspace. So I did try to make it to the gym in nursing school. I definitely did. So do whatever you have to do. You got to go get a massage every week, every 2 weeks, go on walks, go out. I would say have a drink, but don't turn to drinking just because you have a long, stressful day. Do something that's actually healthy for you, So just realize anxiety is normal. It's a normal part of life in nursing school. Part 5, NCLEX, RN, and PN study tips. So NCLEX PN focuses on, that's practical nursing, focuses on safety, basic care, meds, and tasks, because as a PN, you can give meds that you can do. NCLEX RN focuses on prioritize, delegate, critical thinking, advanced care. So those are the differences pretty much when it comes to the NCLEX PN and RN. RN is more in depth. PN is more of a surface level of RN. If you think of it like that, it's more of a surface level. You're not so in depth like a RN is. So when it comes to studying, you want to study questions. You want to do questions and you want to study them. The ones that you got wrong though. So you want to do at least like 50 questions a day when you're preparing for the NCLEX specifically. If you're just studying for nursing school, you can do like 20 questions a day. It could be lower, 20 questions a day, 15 to 20 questions a day. You'll be fine. Just do it well ahead of time before your exams. And then study the rationales for the ones you got wrong and didn't really understand why you got it wrong. Make sure you study the rationales. And some answers, don't think too much into it. Like, you get the answer and then you're like, but why this? But why that? Because I found myself doing that too in nursing school. But why this? But why that? Instead of just taking that face value, well, this is what it is. This is the answer. You're thinking too much into it, this is the answer. This is what it is, There's certain things that you're going to be like, okay, why? And you can dig deeper, but some things is you can't dig any deeper. It's like, that is it. So rationales, make sure you're reading that and going over it and understanding it. To the ones you got wrong, don't waste your time on the ones you got right. You know why you got it right, unless you didn't know why you got it right, but you know why you got it right. Skip it. Save yourself some time, Prayer is so important. Prayer to whoever you believe in. Prayer, affirmations, do it daily. It really does help ease your mind and help you stay focused. Start every study session with an affirmation or a prayer, and just realize, like, say to yourself, God didn't bring me this far to leave me in confusion. Say it to yourself, because he's going to really bring you through whatever you're going through. Because nursing school, like I said, it could be very challenging. I don't want to say hard, but challenging. Yes, it's very challenging. Now, if anything I said has resonated with you or connected with you, make sure you join this community while it's free, because it won't be free. Maybe a week from now, maybe months from now, we'll see. But while it's free, make sure you get all the information you can get from me, from others in the community. Like, the point is not only for me to teach you, but for other people to gather in, because even though, I went through everything that a nursing student goes through, people have different experiences. People can offer different advice. So that's why this community is not about me. It's about you and people like you, to give advice, to help each other out, to be there, to help you get through nursing school. That's the point. The community is for you. So I can help you as much as I can, of course, but other people around you in the community, that is for you to build upon your nursing skills, whether it's before nursing, during nursing, after nursing, getting your first job. That is the point of this community, to help you through. So both men and women can join. It's very important to talk about NCLEX prep, applications, mindset, and what no one else teaches you, because they don't really talk about mindset in nursing school. You only get in material, unless you go to a really good nursing school that talks about mindset and gives you that affirmations and, boost you up. It's not many nursing schools out there. There's literally nursing schools that will try to weed you out and make you, you start your class with like 40 people, and then by the time your class ends, you're like with 10, 15 people. That's how nursing is. Like, they start to fall out. Either someone quits or someone fails out of the class. Those things happen. So you definitely need community. Community is important in life, but it's important in nursing school. But you have to do the work. You do the work, then you come to the community. You got questions, we answer it, we talk about it, we work through it. That's the whole point of the community, to make sure that you are getting to your goal of becoming a nurse, but an efficient nurse. That's most important. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram if you haven't, in Threads. Threads community is really growing and glowing, I have to say. So my Instagram and Threads, because it's linked together, is my first name, Tadeja Diane, first and middle name, Tadeja Diane, and then Biz. So I'm gonna actually, and then my TikTok is tadejadiane.co. I post nursing content on there too. I just started back up. So let me share my screen so that you can see. I'm actually gonna drop it down here too. Hi, good evening. I hope you caught some of it because I'm about finished with all of it. But do you have any questions? I know I went over a lot. Let me share my screen real quick. Entire screen. Sometimes sharing my screen is just like, it's like a maze here, like the way it looks. But let me show you. So here is, my Stan Store link. Oh, I don't even think I could copy it and pin it. I was gonna copy, but you know what? I can go. This is, so I'm giving you free game right now. So this is my RN collective group. We have 46 members right now. So this is how it looks. It is on Stan Store. So this is all the posts. I try to post like once to twice a week. This is my first live, and I'm gonna put this on my community for any of my members to watch who hasn't made it. So we got all here. We got Q&A. We got winning testimonials, and then we got nursing quizzes. I try to give you a nursing quiz every week, and then we go over the right answer. And if you want more in depth, I go through that too. So this is the community. I also have resources here. So this is the 5-day jump start that's free, and it's also a nursing video that is actually here on my YouTube. You can take a look at nursing that I post. I also post resources here, like this is electrolytes. This is a good video that I used in nursing school to help me understand electrolytes. So those are some of the things that I offer in the community. So as you can see, we are growing. Like I like to say, growing and glowing. So make sure you join the community. I am going to put the link in here. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Perfect. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to put the link in here. All right, so that's the link to the community. And then I'm also going to, can I even put my IG? Let's see if I can put my IG. I don't know if I could copy this. Oh, there we go. See, learning. All right, and then here is my IG as well as my threads, because I talk a lot about the journey and everything on our school. So let's see, Lola, how can I register for the NCLEX? So there's a PIN number that you get. Did you take your exam already? I mean, did you finish nursing school already? Because once you finish nursing school, I want to say like a couple of weeks, you get a number, a PIN number that the NCLEX website asks for you to register for it. So that your school will send you that number, and then you register for the exam. And how for the nursing quiz? Oh, let me stop sharing my screen. Yeah, let me know if you got like a PIN number from your school. If not, you can always write them. So I think that's what you're talking about when you say, how can I register for NCLEX? I'm making pretty good time too. It's 43 minutes. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, so if you finish nursing school already, and you're waiting to register for the NCLEX, your school sends you a number that you use. I forgot the name of it. Let me see. What's the name of it? You get a number, and you put that number in when you register for the NCLEX. But that's after you complete it, you pass your classes and everything. Oh, that's what it's called. ATT. ATT. That's what you get. You get your ATT. That's a number. So you need your ATT to schedule an appointment to take your NCLEX. So that's what it's called. So you get your ATT, and then you schedule your NCLEX. That's what it's called. That's how you know it's been a minute. Yes, I have a bachelor's degree in midwifery. Okay. All right. So you just finished your schooling. So yeah, your school will give you that ATT number. And then once you get that number, then you can register for the NCLEX. You don't have a number for school. I would email them. Email like the email your counselor, maybe. Counselor, or like the I wouldn't say registration. But yeah, email your counselor, and because depending on when did you finish school, because sometimes I know it takes a while. It takes like 3 weeks, maybe up to a month. For me, I want to say it took like 2.5 weeks to get the number. That's because they had to, go over your grades and make sure everything was good, and it was like a full class. So yeah, email them so you can get that ATT number, and specifically tell them that you're waiting for your ATT number. Usually they send out emails. I know schools are different. They'll send out emails and they'll tell you when to expect it, but you can always email them and tell them that you're waiting for your number so you can register for the NCLEX. So that will be the best thing to do. And then once you do that, you're good to go. You're good to go. Have you been studying though? Like, that's the thing. Have you been studying, practicing questions? Unless you feel prepared already, then you're good. But yeah, definitely contact your school. So I don't necessarily give classes. You're talking about for the NCLEX. I do have material that's on my free group that I linked there. I can pin it. Hold on, let's see. Pin message. Okay. So I just pinned the link to my free group where I do give you resources to help you prepare for the NCLEX. And if you did nursing school, then most of the work is done. Now it's preparing for the NCLEX, which is safety. They want to make sure you're a safe and efficient nurse. So I do give advice, and I do have free resources in that group to help you focus on things that's high yield, which is most likely to be on that NCLEX exam. So yes, and that I do. Not classes, but I do help you. Yeah, so you can click that link. It's a free community right now. You click that link and join, introduce yourself, and then, go from there. Download the free resource, and then, look over it. Any questions you have, anything you don't understand, feel free to share it in the community, and then we'll go over it definitely. But thank you guys for joining in. I know it's not a lot of people in here. Like I said, this is a last minute live because I'm trying to get it in because I'm going away next week. So I wanted to get at least one live in. This will be on the community. So I will do this. I will post this on the community. So that way you can rewatch it, Not that much. What do you mean not that much? Yeah, what do you mean not that much? Sometimes I be talking and I forgot what I said. I'm not sure what you're replying to. But yeah, again, join the, have you pinned the link? Yeah, the link is right here. Let me share my screen. I'll show you where the link is. Hold on. It may look double, but right here, here's the link here. It's pinned right here. So you just click that and it'll bring you, and then you put in your information and it'll take you right to the community. And also, like, if you join the community, because I know a lot of people are busy, my advice would be to download Stand Store Community. It has an app. That way you can get the notifications to your phone. That way you're not worrying about having to go on a computer and log back in. It'll already be on your phone. That's the simplest way to do it. So go, like, whether you have a iPhone or Android, go to your store and then type in Stand Community. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So I will see you guys in the community. Again, I'm going to post this video in the community so that way you can rewatch it. Make sure you go under resources. Take advantage of the community. Make sure you go under resources and you go into that NCLEX 5-day jumpstart and go through that and look at the things that you should be preparing yourself for in nursing school and some of the like mnemonics that helps you remember some of the material. So I think this would be very helpful. Again, if you have any questions, feel free. What should I download? So I'm going to share my screen again really quick. So you're going to, oh, you know what? It's not on my phone, but when you, so this is the community here. So when you get to the community, it'll bring you to this page. You enter your name, your email, you get instant access. And then you'll have the RN, you'll get into the RN Glow community. Now the App Store, let me just stop my screen. So the App Store is, you know what? I'm going to show you through here. So you go to, if you have an iPhone, you go to your App Store, right? And then you type in Stan Community. So it looks like this. Let me put it closer. So Stan Community, you see that there? It says connect and chat with creators, social, and it has the 3 heads. That's what you should download. See, I already downloaded, so it says open. So once you registered and once you signed into the group, you can download that app and then open and boom. It'll show you your communities. You'll click on the communities and then it'll come up on your phone. That way you have the app already and then it'll give you notifications like, let's see if I still have the notification. Maybe not. Yeah, Stan Community. Yep. Yeah, so it'll show you when I made a new post or somebody makes a new post. So it'll say, look, the RN Glow Collective, and it'll show you Tadeja Diane just made a new post. That's the easiest way to do it because going on your computer trying to log in all the time, you'll end up forgetting about the community and it'll be like a waste of resources. So download it on your phone. Make sure you got instant access. Go over my suggestion is to go over the material. And then once you go over the material for the free resources, which is under resource, which I'm going to actually show you again. This is where you'll find the resources at. So in the Stan Community, so right here, you go to resources again, and then nursing school game plan. Then this will pop up and then download will pop up. So you download it, boom, it comes up. Then you got my story. If you already know my story, bypass it. But boom, then we're talking about the good stuff in nursing school. But if you finish nursing school, you can review this really quick so you can know what to focus on. You go through a breakdown of the NCLEX. And then you got priority and delegation, day 2. So each day is different. You go peds and maternity. You go through delegation, what RNs can do versus LPNs. You got pharmacology, you got opioids, you got lab values, you got safety and infection control, you got airborne precaution, you got dosage, you got test taking tips, and then you got some questions at the end. Then I have another offer, but that's another story. Yeah, that's just more questions. But yeah, so go through that, and then there's little sticky notes to help you remember what you should be focused on. I went over some of the diseases like preeclampsia, eclampsia, some of the signs and symptoms that you should know. So go through that. Do practice your 50 questions a day. I'm gonna stop sharing. Practice your 50 questions a day, and you got this. You got this. Stay strong. Stay strong. I am located in NY, New York. I am located in New York, New York. But yeah, definitely lock in. Just lock into the community, lock in with me. The goal is, pass your NCLEX, get your RN, get your first job, and go for the specialty that you want. A lot of people are like, oh, you need experience in this, you need experience in that, and da-da-da. You can get a job with your main specialty without experience. There's definitely enough places to take you and teach you, because you're gonna have to learn anyway. So don't let that deter you. But yeah, I'm gonna log off. It's been almost an hour. But yes, make sure you click this link again, download it, get into the community, and we'll be talking more. Hope you guys have a good rest of your evening. If you're in a different country, good morning, good night, But yeah, definitely lock in with the Stand Store community, and I will see you guys soon.